What the? I forgot what I was doing there for a minute. I forgot I was going to have a podcast. I was looking at the newspaper. I got my phone going here. It's repeating everything I say. I need to adjust your camera a little bit. Can't really see it until I come on. All right, I'll back up here. Ruthie B says hello. Howdy. I took my wife and dumped her off over in Kansas. They're probably gonna be on their way back here pretty soon. But all right, I'm gonna talk about well, there ain't nobody coming on yet except for one lady. So we'll wait and see if a few more people come in. I'm gonna talk about what kind of lawnmowers I had when I first started my business. And what I got now, about 8 years later. I think it's about, I don't know when it was. Let's see, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 9 years. This is my 9th season, I guess. I thought it was 10. I lied to everybody and told everybody it was 10 years, but it's actually, it's my 9th season. I'm getting ready to start. Some days it feels like it's my 20th because I really, before I did lawn care, I was a truck driver and stuff, but I also did side jobs, once in a while. I always had a little dump truck or some kind of trailer or something where I could haul stuff for people. And I was always trying to think about how am I get out of this truck driving and do a side job uh, like I'm doing now. This is not a side job now; it's full time. But today I went and done a little rock job. I'm working on that video right now. I'm trying to get it. I'm looking at my phone here. I keep glancing now, looking at my phone. I'm gonna do this one standing up, but I didn't put one on last week. I don't remember what was going on. Something was going on last week, and I just didn't have time to do it, or something. Oh, I went to my grandkid's birthday party, I think. Or no, it wasn't a birthday party. What was that? I think we just went over to visit. Yeah, we took them some chicken and stuff, and just went over and visited a little bit. See, one of my new granddaughter. She's about, I don't know. I think she's 5 months old. She's a little sweetie. But anyway, I guess I'll just start talking. Everybody can just miss a little bit of it because that's just the way it is. And I am going to mention, I'll make sure, I made a video about this the other day, but I'm talking too fast. I need to smack myself because I can't stand when other YouTubers are talking really fast. I don't know why. It just really gets on my nerves when people talk real fast and they try to keep you interested and change the subject a whole bunch and stuff like that. But I'm a slow talker and a slow thinker a little bit, because slow to think is a little bit better than thinking too fast and saying the wrong thing, in my opinion. But hey, Jeff's Lawn Landscape, see ya. I see you on there. Let me see. It's going pretty good. I had a really good job today. I went and did a rock job. I rocked somebody's driveway, and I was trying to make I was trying to put that on a while ago, and I think I hope I didn't delete all of it and have to do it again, because I had to do this live. I'm 30 minutes late on my live. I was going to do it at 6, but 6:30 might be a pretty good time to do it. And when I get into the summer a little bit more, I'll probably bump it back up to like 7 or 8 o'clock, because I know a lot of you guys will still be out there mowing grass and stuff like that. But it don't really matter. It's going to be on anyway. And a lot of mine ain't gonna be live anyway. This is live today because I didn't have time to make a video. My podcast, I want to record them early so I can edit them and stuff in case I mess up, in case something happens. uh, all right, here's what I was going to talk about. My mowers I started my business with 8 years ago. I bought it was a little bit earlier than 8 years ago, really, because before I got my license and everything, I tried to do lawn care and stuff on the side while I was still trucking a little bit. But I started with I had a white riding lawnmower. It's called a White Tractor Company, I had a white that I bought brand new. It was only a 38-inch cut, but I had it. But then I went and I bought me a brand new 50-inch cut Cub Cadet. I don't remember what year that was. It was like I'll have to look at the lawnmower. I don't know when that was. Like 95 or something. Oh no, it wasn't that old. It wasn't that long ago. It was maybe around 2000. No, it was earlier than that. It was around maybe 97 or something. I had to look at the lawnmower because it was brand new when I bought it. And it was a good mower too. A 50-inch. I still own it, but I haven't used it for about 3 years. It's been sitting out there. What I did with that mower is tear it up because I tied this piece of railroad railing on the back of it about, it was probably 3 foot wide, maybe a little wider. And I drug it around my driveway a lot and ended up burning up my transmissions, those hydrostats. But what I did about, it was while I was doing lawn care, probably 7, 8 years ago, my first or second year of lawn care, I found another lawnmower. Somebody beat the deck up on the, they beat the deck up and the spindles were broke on it. But I bought that mower. It was a Toro with the 2-speed in it. But all the 2-speed actually is, it keeps you from moving your handle so far. And if you put it on high, you can move them further. You put them on low and you can't move them about halfway, so you go slower. It's kind of dumb, really. But so what I did, weather was nice here today. It was good here too. I think you'll probably have good weather tomorrow because you get ours the next day or so. It was I think it's around 60 here today. But tomorrow's supposed to be back in the 40s, I think. Which not too bad for February. I'll take that. But I got a good rock job. I'm trying to put that video on today. But it was good, pretty good. I like doing the driveway rocks. Anyway, where was I? My lawnmowers. Video is gonna be about my lawnmowers I've had. But anyway, I took those transmissions out. I really don't know if they're any different on the inside of the transmission that much. But all I know is the difference on it was the axle size. The axle size on the Cub Cadet was like a 1/2 inch or 5/8 maybe. And the axle size on the Toro was 3/4 or something like that. It was like that much bigger. It was like 3/4. I don't think it was an inch, but it could have been an inch. I think the 5/8 on the Cubs, what I'm guessing, and it was 3/4 on the Toro on the axle. So I'm hoping the inside's beefed up a little bit too. But I got one side on the Cub Cadet when I was back working on it, and I got real busy and stuff. I still got the other one I got to put on. That's going to be a video coming up pretty soon. We're going to try to get that Cub Cadet running again. It really needs a new deck. And the last time I checked was a couple, 2, 3 years ago, and they were like $400. So everything's doubled down. So it's probably what, $600 or $800 for a deck. And you don't even get anything with it. You just get the deck. And you gotta put your old spindles and stuff in it. But I don't know what I'm gonna do there. I'm gonna look around for an old used lawnmower that ain't running maybe. And I'm actually thinking about trying to turn that into a 72-inch mower. So I'll have two 72s. I just think I can I think it can mow with a bigger, it had a 22 horse on it. I think it can handle a 72-inch deck. It's, what is that? 22 inches wider than it originally is. And it didn't have no problem running the way it was. It ain't gonna go through grass tall as me, this tall, like fescue. It ain't been cut for a couple of months, but I think we'd be good cutting weekly yards with a 72 on that Cub Cadet. That's my plan anyway. I'm gonna try to make a bigger mower out of it, even if I got to combine two decks and make it work. I may try to do that. I thought about even going up to 100, like try to put 250s underneath it or something. So that's going to be a good thing to try to do. Okay, that was my Cub Cadet era. And then I moved up. I started my lawn care business with that Cub Cadet though. And then I moved up. I got a Husky real cheap. Somebody gave it to me. A Husky, 50-inch Husky riding lawnmower. But I never could get it to run real good. It had the Briggs Oppose motor on it, and I'm not a big fan of them motors. I just couldn't get it to run right. But and it was hydrostat. I get those garden tractors given to me like 2, 3, 4 year probably while I'm out mowing and stuff. People give me lawnmowers, and I just take them apart and save the blades. And sometimes the blades might work on something else, and I save the idler pulleys. But one of the mowers I got now, the idler pulley won't work on them because they're commercial mowers a little bit more, and they screw everybody over because I haven't had a commercial lawnmower really outlast a what am I trying to say? A homeowner's lawnmower. I got to get a drink. A homeowner's lawnmower. That's all my Cub Cadet really was. It was more of a residential lawnmower. It was like the entryway to a zero turn. But it's still a good lawnmower. I'm gonna fix it. It's not good right now. Where was I at? Okay, I'm done with. I like the garden tractor's ride, but the people out there have a little weird thing. They see you on a garden tractor, they don't think you're really all that professional or something. So they don't like to see the zero turns and the standers and the walk behinds or something like that. Which they're not really doing anything that the garden tractors can do, except for none of them are riding as nice as a garden tractor. The garden tractor, in my opinion, is the best ride because your motor's out front, you got your rear end in the back. It's the weight's distributed better, and they just outride. They don't make a zero turn, in my opinion. They'll outride a big riding lawnmower. And I've almost considered buying a big Cub Cadet garden tractor with like the 60-inch deck, because they got them now where they'll turn real sharp. And Roscoe's up here by the window. He's saying guard. He don't let me know when the girls get home. He's up there whining. Oh, okay, that's it for the garden tractors. My next lawnmower I bought, I had a Harley Davidson Sportster. It was just an 883, but I still liked riding it. It was really nice. And I ended up trading it in. I took it to the lawnmower shop. Well, we were just up there looking around, me and my brother was. And I ended up trading my Harley even up for a 72-inch Dixon, 72-inch Dixon zero turn commercial one. It's a heavy duty thing. I've cut a lot of grass with it, but it needs a little bit of maintenance. Only thing bad about that is it's got great big belts on it, and some of the belts are like $100 because they're so big and everything. They're 5/8 belts, and they're like 100 some inches long. Some of them, two of them. I think it's got 2 belts. It's got a horizontal motor where the shaft comes out the side, but it's turned around, it's out the back of the mower. And then it's got on both sides of the horizontal mower, it's got shafts, because the one side, which would be the back of your motor, runs the mower deck, and the front side of your motor has a shaft coming out and runs another belt system that runs my pumps. It's got two big pumps on it that go down to like drive motors on that mower, like a Bobcat has on it. It's got big drive motors on it. They probably cost $500 a piece. Just for that. You don't get 500 for the drive motor and another five or more for the pump probably, and it's got two on each side. So that was a hell of a lawnmower though. Only thing the bearing in the center wears out because there's so much pressure on it. I'm thinking there's too much pressure. It's a design flaw. It's real heavy duty cast iron housing, but that bearing wears out, and I've had to rebuild the shaft 2 times. But I've cut a lot of land with that. I mean, you could cut, it's 6 foot wide, 72 inch, and you can cut 10 acres with it. And I mean, if it's like a field, you can cut 10 acres with it pretty fast because it goes about 6 or 8 miles an hour when you're mowing. It'll run 11 miles an hour down the road, but you can mow probably about 6 miles an hour, and grass that's about 6 or 8 inches tall. I mean, it's got a hell of a deck. And most mowers throw it out the side about 2 swats, but that one there will throw it out 3 swats. It's pretty awesome. It's a pretty awesome mower. But it only has a 27 horse Kohler. That's what I like, the Kohler motors. I got it on my Cub. Okay, I'll tell you my next lawnmower. My next mower after the Dixon was a 54-inch Husqvarna, which you guys seen that on my videos. Oh, my Dixon's got my Dixon. Go back to my Dixon for a minute. It's got almost 1,300 hours on it. Now I put an oil seal on my crank one time, but you had to pull the motor out to do that. It's always the one it's hard to get to. And then on my Kohler, it's on my Husqvarna. It has almost 900 hours. It's 800 some hours. It's pushing 900 hours on it. But it's got a 27 horse Commander, I think it is, Kohler Command. It's a damn good lawnmower. It's been a good one. And it's still running on the original transmissions. And believe it or not, it's still running on the original transmission fluid. I don't know. This is just a test I'm doing with this one. I didn't pull a whole lot with it. Like my Cub Cadet, I drug that railroad thing and graded my driveway a lot. But this one here, I just used for mowing. And when it got a lot of hours on it, I did start using it now to pick up leaves, and I pull a leaf wagon with it. Well, it's a trailer. It's a trailer, actually. I pull my leaf trailer with it. And this is only going to be about 10 more minutes because I'm getting hot. I don't know why I'm getting hot. It's hot thinking about all this. I may have to do continuation because I got so much darn equipment and stuff to talk about. It's ridiculous. For only being in business for 8 years. Going in my 9th season. But what was it? Oh, my Husqvarna. I took my wheel bearings apart the other day on the front end because they were kind of I gotta fix that up a little bit someday. It's got bushings in there, and it's got some kind of long bearing, needle bearing like thing that goes over the bolt that goes through it. And I'm gonna have to work on that someday because it's getting wore down where the tire's almost rubbing the forks. Like, I'm thinking about making those forks another inch longer to give it some more clearance because I've always had trouble with grass getting stuck in there anyway. And on my next mower I'm going to tell you about is I notice it's that way. It's a lot better, and I get a little more height out of my Husqvarna if I did that. Only on the Husqvarna, the deck is a press deck, not a welded fabricated one or nothing. But I did have some brackets on it that you lift it up and down with. You can't see my hands. I'm motioning down here with my hands a lot. I got to hold them way up here. But I had to do some welding on it because they started cracking and coming off. But I don't know, probably because my wife and my daughter drove it, and they probably messed it up. No, that sounds good. I'll blame them. They like that mower because it was smooth. I think it's still a good lawnmower too. I like it. I still run it. We got a little work to do on it. Everything I own needs a little work though. You never get done with maintenance. Best thing you could do, in my opinion, is learn how to do some of your own maintenance. But all right, my next lawnmower after the Husqvarna. Well, actually, I can't remember actually if this one was before or after my Husqvarna. I'm skipping all my little push mowers. I mean, I've had like a little Troy built self-propelled push mowers and stuff, but I used to buy them brand new, like one every 2 years, because I did a lot more backyards and stuff. But now I try to get yards where I can get in the gate, and I don't have to use those so much. And I'm kind of steering away from doing a bunch of big ditches too. You know, where you want to go on a hill or something with a push mower. I mean, I'm just getting too old for that. And I like the work, but that's a lot of work when you get a big old ditch. I've had ditches that were a couple of 100 feet long and had to weed eat them and everything, but I don't mind them if you're just weed eating like a foot. That's another subject I'm going to talk about on one of my podcasts is how I like a yard to be set up. And I try to get my customers to set their yard up this way so it could go easier for both of us. If it's set up where I can go faster and get the yards knocked out, then it might come down a little on price, but may make a little bit getting it set up that way. But we'll talk about that in another video. Uh, I bought a a commercial walk behind Cub Cadet. It's a 36 inch. You guys might have seen it in some of my old videos. And one last year, I didn't use it hardly any last year, but like 2 or 3 times. But it's a real heavy duty lawnmower. There's another one out there that's just like it, but I can't remember what it is. You know, it's probably all made by MTD, but it was a commercial one though. And it has a Kawasaki 14 horse motor on it, and it fires right up every time. I've had belt problems with it a little bit. I think, no, it wasn't the belt. I had brakes, the turning brakes that you squeeze to make it turn. And with it, will give you a workout too. That thing kill you. You got to squeeze it like I'm crazy to get it to turn and stuff. And I made a Selkie for it to stand on. The Selkie I made worked pretty good, but I always had a hard time getting tires to last. I mean, the bearings. I never could find a real good bearing to last that I need to go get me some off the front of a riding lawnmower and cut the spindles and weld them all on there and use front tires off a riding lawnmower. I think that'd be a way better. That'd make a get pretty good silky out of riding lawnmower front tires and use the spindles. Just weld them right to it, or get a shaft as big as spindles and but use that kind of deal, that kind of tire because they're used to carrying quite a bit of weight. I was using tires from Harbor Freight and different places, like dolly tires and stuff with the whole air, and I'd wear them out in a couple months. You know, only cutting about. Oh, I used to use that mower quite a bit though, but my point is that's a damn good lawnmower. Except for I'd like to upgrade it to like a 32 inch stand on, like a stander. Like to have a 32, maybe a 36, because there's a 36, but I'd like to have a 32 so it'd fit through all my gates, and I wouldn't have to use a 21 inch no more. If I could get me a 32 inch stander, that'd be awesome. That's what I'm kind of looking for. So let me see here. After that Cub Cadet, which I don't know I think I had the Cub Cadet actually that walked behind before the what am I saying? That orange one, the Husqvarna. Husqvarna. Then I after them, I used to mow this property that was about 2 acres, and I always looked at this lawnmower sitting over there, and it was always sitting there, just gathering leaves on it, getting more trash on it, and had a flat tire one time, and then I'd go back over there and mow again. I mowed that property once a month, and that mower sat there the whole first year, and then all the next winter outside, and then the next year I mowed, and then this was like 2 years ago. Man, I'm getting choked up. I gotta get me a drink. I got some sweet tea. That's about the only thing I get sugar in anymore. I used to put a little sugar in my coffee once in a while. Now I just put milk in it. I kind of grown to liking my coffee that way now. I'm trying to lose some weight. I'm gonna lose quite a bit of weight. That'll be another time talk subject. But I was looking at that mower, and then it had 3 or 4. I think all the tires were flat on it when I went and talked to the people, and that happened to be my grasshopper. I got a really good deal on it. They said, it'll run, probably needs a battery. But they lied to me. I mean, it ran. I got it running pretty easy. But they failed to mention that it would run all the oil out of it in about 30 minutes. If you weren't watching that, I thought, man, this thing's leaking oil. It's smelling. I looked down there and there was oil all over my clutch and everything underneath. It's that zero turn 52-inch. It's a 126, I think, grasshopper mid mount. But it leaked the oil out of it like crazy. So that was what's wrong with it. But I did my thing I do. I get on Terrell Fixes All on YouTube channel, and I look there's YouTube and find him. I just freshen up my memory because I get on there and I freshen up my memory and stuff. I'm pretty well good at now. I don't really have to do that much anymore. I've been working on small engines a lot, but I learned a lot off Terrell Fixes All. If you guys don't know that YouTube channel, it's a good one to go look at. And he does some stupid skits and stuff, but sometimes he does dumb things on when he's repairing stuff too that I wouldn't do, but not very often. He's only done that a couple times. Most of the time he fixes it right. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, I had to split that motor in half because they call it the oil pan gasket, but it's the center gasket when you put the motor together. And I actually messed up though. I adjusted my it's a little bit confusing. I don't know what the hell I'm trying. I can't say that word. I get confused on how to adjust the governor sometimes. And I've watched a million videos. Probably that's what probably confused me. But I adjusted it wrong, and I fired that lawnmower up, and it goes, man! And the governor went up, and it exploded inside my motor. So I had to tear it all back apart. Take it off everything. Everything was put together on the mower when I started it. I had to take it all back apart and fix and put a new governor in it. And I had to adjust it right. But I got it all done now, and I mow with it every. You guys see, it's mowing almost every day, every other day or something. I use it a lot. It makes nice stripes, and it looks good. And I got it for like just a fraction of what it would have cost me to buy one. And it only had I think it had 300 hours on it. It don't have hardly any. I didn't use it that much, I guess, because I only put about 100. I don't even think it's got 400. It may have 400 hours now, but it only had like 301 or something when I got it. But I fixed it up. I think I put about 100 hours on it in one summer. I don't think I used it much the first summer because it was leaking oil, and I didn't have time to work on it. But that whole year, the next year, I used it a lot because I got it fixed up. And it's ready to go this year too. It fires right up. I really like that. It's got a different the motors, the hydrostats in it are way different though than the other ones. But that's it for my lawnmowers. I'd like to have another one someday, a new one. But this year we're gonna run the old junk. Now, I do have some brush hogs and tractors too, but I ain't gonna talk about those. I'm just talking about my lawn stuff, and I pick up one every now and then along the road, fix it. But I appreciate you guys looking at my videos and liking, subscribing. I could use a few more subscribers. I've got thousands of people that look at my shorts sometimes, and they never subscribe, or they don't really like either. But oh well, I got quite a few likes on a few of them. But I seen somebody's channel is growing pretty good here and there. They're about to catch me, but that's no big deal. I mean, this area helps me from getting bored on the job doing these videos and stuff. So anyway, I'm gonna cut this off here, I think, and I'll just end it like the Lord loves the working man, and the Lord loves the working women too. I'm trying to figure out how to turn this off. Guess I got to go over here. We'll talk to y'all later. See you next week. And maybe not live next week, though. Adios. La. Uh-huh.